You're welcome on board with me as we take a course through today's topic. We're talking about compound interest. We've spoken about simple interest, and that is a situation where you have an interest generated on an amount or on a principal that is being used or that is being invested for a stipulated period of time, which means the principal is constant. But under compound interest, the principal is not constant. So over the years, over a stipulated time, the principal changes, and with that what makes it differ from a simple interest question or problem. Another thing, usefulness of compound interest, it is used when you are doing anything that has to deal with population estimation. I said periodical borrowing or payment, e.g., taking money from the bank or association. That's one of the usefulness of compound interest. Another thing is population estimation. As it increases in multiples, of course. If you have first year, you use a particular principle, then the next year your interest must have been added to the principal of the first year, which is your amount. So the amount will be the principal for the next year. That's one thing about that if you are calculating it on a yearly basis till you exhaust the number of given years. The another usefulness of this is depreciation. Finding the worth of an asset after use for some time. You are able to use this in doing this work. But okay, there will be a difference. There will be a difference. Well, because when there's depreciation of a particular asset, there will be a difference. Now, let me give you the formula for compound interest. Let's have this. You have your compound. It's not there's no particular formula, but what you can use, you have a formula that links each of the terms that easily help you to calculate your compound interest. So you can say your amount is equal to principal 1 plus your rate in percentage all raised to power n. This is in terms of A, which is your amount. If you write this in terms of your P, which is your principal, if you write this in terms of P, which is your principal, the principal can be equal to A, all divided by your have 1 plus your R percent all raised to power of n. Got it? So you have this. If you are to solve our question, they say find the compound interest on 200 naira in 3 years at 4 per annum. At 4% per annum. Find the compound interest. So how do we get to solve that question? As direct and simple as it is, the question you will ask yourself is how do you go about that? So what do we do? Don't forget your interest. I made that known that your amount, I made that known in a simple interest formula that amount is equals to principal plus interest. So whenever we work and we are done with calculating our amount, we can easily say that your interest can be your principal minus your amount. So let's go ahead. Let's deal with this first. So what do we have? We have this here. Have this. The compound interest on this. Okay, let's solve one. solving the first one. Solving the first one, the compound interest, you don't have the compound interest. Compound interest is unknown. Find the compound interest on an interest on 200 naira. Find the compound interest on 200 naira. That is the principal. The principal is 300 naira. Then the time is 3. Where the time is the number of years from the formula I gave. It is equal to n and it is equal to 3. Then the rate is 4%. Do you get that? So we go now by the formula that says the amount is equal to the principal over, open a bracket, 1 plus your R percent all raised to power n. So what does this imply? This implies that our principal, which is 200, 1 plus what is R? 5% and 4%. And that is the same thing as what? 0.04 all raised to power 3. Do you get that? So this can be equal to 200 open bracket 1. Okay, let me just sum that together there. So we have 1.004 all raised to power 3. And that can be what? So deal with what is in the bracket based on board mass. You have 1.004 all raised to power of 3. What do you have? You have 200. Open the brackets, you have 1.0120. So multiply that by 200. What do you have? You have 202. So amount becomes 202 naira 41 kobo. So since our amount is 202 naira 41 kobo, it makes it easy for us to calculate the interest. And what is the interest now? Our interest will be equal to what? Since amount is principal plus interest, so interest will be amount minus principal, and that will be 202 41 naira minus our principal is 200 naira. So the interest there, that will take the compound interest for that period of time, is 2 naira 41 kobo. We have 2 naira 41 kobo. So you have that sorted. Okay, yeah, I think there is something we need to correct here quickly. So we have 1.04, not 1.004. So please let's correct this. It will be 1.04. So the values here will change. 1.04. You get that? So we have 1.04 raised to power of 3. So we should have 1. So the number of years I gave was what? 1.04 raised to power of 3. So we have this to be 1.125. Let me approximate, it should be 1.125 248. So we have that then times 200. That'll give us 224. 224 naira 97 kobo. So this should be 224 naira 97 kobo. Subtract 200 from it. So we should have 24 naira 97 kobo. You get that? So that is the compound interest that will accrue for that number of years, which is 3 years, 3 solid years, 3 solid years. Yes, that is it to the nearest kobo. Quickly, let's visit question 2. The question 2 says what? You have how long would it take a sum of money? How long will it take a sum of money? Okay, wait. I want to make this. Let's make this a bit bigger. So how long? Okay, estimate. Okay, estimate the time it will take a sum. Oh, I've swapped the questions. How long will it take a sum of money to double itself? That's question 2. Question 2. How long will it take a sum of money? A sum of money. You don't know the sum of money. How long will it take a sum of money to double itself? To double itself. So if it's double itself at 5% per annum, so we have only rate. So if the money doubles itself, what would that turn to? That means the result of that is the amount you will have. So your amount will be the money. What's the sum of money? We don't know. And that sum of money will be what? Will be taken as your principal. So let's call it 2p. Yeah, we call it 2p. Yes, because the money that we accrue, the money that we actually generate interest is the principal. Then I say, how long will it take the sum of money to double itself? And how long will it take the principal to double itself? Do you get it? So, and when it doubles itself, it will result into an amount. Do you understand? So our amount is equal to 2p. No other thing is given. So go to the formula straight. Since we know our A will now be 2p is equal to the principal itself. Open bracket 1 plus what? The rate is 5%. That will be 5 over 100, and that is 0.05. How long? That is our n. We are looking for n. So what do we have now? We have 2p be equal to p, open bracket 1.05 raised to the power of n. Yes. So dividing both sides by p, you are going to be having p2 rather You divide both sides by p. So 2 can be equals to what? 1.05 raised to power of n. Do you get it? So this is what we are going to be having here. So what do? We are looking for n. How can we get along this part? The best we can do is to take the logarithm of both sides. So we have log 2 to be equal to log in bracket 1.05 to the power of n. And this can also be written as log 2 equals to what? In laws of logarithm, like I've mentioned in the logarithm topic we treated, you should have n log what? 1.05. So you have this. Then you go here. Since you have to take the logarithm of both sides, your n, you can factor it out such that you're going to be having your n to be equal to what? You are going to be having this. So you divide both sides by log of 1.05. So you have log 2 divided by log of 1.05. And what do you have with that? You are going to be having your n. What is log 2? Check that out. Though you should know that 0.3010. Yes, the natural log, the log 2, 0.3010 divided by log 1.05. That is 0.0212. So n can be equal to what? 0.3010 divided by 0.0212. What do you have? You have 14.198. So approximately the number of years or how long it will take will be 14 years. Thank you. You can go ahead to solve this by yourself. You follow the same approach.